My name is Amanda Paris, my age is 30 years old, and my craft is I write and sometimes act for the stage. What inspires me is this idea that anything is possible. Kevin Garnett actually screamed that phrase very famously in 2008 at the NBA Finals, and I feel like history, through my ancestors, future, the things that I've dreamed and that I've imagined, and the way the universe gives me so many things always teaches me that those words are true. Anything truly is possible. My contribution to the theater in the future, I hope, will be stories that are rarely seen on the stage, stories that require bodies that too often are forgotten for the stage, and stories that will make the stage this very cool, engaging, inspiring, and kind of swagged out place to take your date on a Friday night.
My name is April Lang. I'm 22 years old, and I'm an actor / emerging playwright and emerging producer. People who are really passionate about their craft. It doesn't have to be acting, it doesn't have to be an artist. If you're interested in toilet mechanics, I don't know, whatever it is, as long as your eyes light up about it, I think that's really inspiring. Recently I also discovered that anything that really ticks me off as well, whether it's a thing, whether it's a person, whatever that is, that inspires me too, because then there's so much more that you can find out from it and develop from that too. I hope to create art that puts people like myself, so people in the minority who are females, out there, and to share stories that you can't really see on stage yet. Whether it's putting it on, whether I'm writing it, whether I'm being in it, I hope that I can help shape that landscape in the future.
My name is Bessie Chang. I'm 22 and I am a theater maker. I'm a playwright and an actor. What inspires me is bravery and sincerity. I think I'm often drawn to people that have these traits and theater makers that create work that reflect this. It helps me keep going when I'm feeling down or I'm uninspired. I hope to bring more visibility as an Asian Canadian theater maker. I want to share my story and my words as an Asian Canadian and to help make work that reflects the diverse community that we live in.
My name is Beth Huang. I'm 27 years old, and my craft consists of administration, management, including stage management, organization, and event coordination. I'm inspired by people who challenge, who rock the boat, and aren't afraid of backlash. I hope to contribute a stronger sense of work ethic, vigor, discipline, and professionalism to raise the standards in order for those outside of the arts to reshape how they value it and reshape how they think about artists. Artists should approach their work with a business sensitivity, and that arts administrators and managers should treat their work and their craft as an art form.
My name's Bilal Beg. I am 21 years old, and I'd like to call myself a playwright, actor, devised theater creator, and storyteller. I'm inspired by other queer people of color who are loud and messy and take up a lot of space and are incredibly unapologetic about it. I hope to contribute to the ongoing conversation in the city around diversity and representation on our stages. And I want to create work that honestly reflects like the complexity and richness within my community, as well as creating work that gives voice to other marginalized and misrepresented communities.
My name's Cole Alvis. I'm proud of my Métis and Irish heritage from the Turtle Mountains in Manitoba. I'm 33. I'm a theater artist. I'm inspired by queerness and anyone that keeps their eyes wide open on the status quo but dreams about potential futures and tries to make those happen. In my work, I want to create spaces where artists can be excellent in their craft and also accountable to their communities.
My name is Dahlia. I'm 36 years old, and my craft, I have multiple crafts, as many as I can have that involve my hands. So I'm a photographer, I'm a puppeteer, I'm a director when I talk with my hands, and I like to play with food, people in motion, people in their greatest presence that is full of humanity, that's full of necessity. In an acting context, a character is desperate for something, or in a similar world in reality, that people really need something from each other, or that they are present with themselves, providing for someone else's need. A space for people to know themselves and to know each other better.
My name is Deborah. I am 23. I am a designer, director, stage manager, and technician.
My name is Echo. I'm turning 23 this year. I always am 17. I'm studying for theater design. I'm also doing a lot of tech work. I would like to becoming a professional set designer and lighting designer around the city. No, around the world. That would be better. So like every little things inspire me. No matter it's broken, I have a collection of 40 dead lighting bulbs, like how they blow it up on stage, and you can see how much work we put on and how the design is becoming a real thing, like on stage.
My name is Indrit Kasapi. I'm 31 years old, and my craft is theater, dance, writing, choreography. I'm also a producer as well. I'm really inspired by that moment in the theater when you look over the audience and you can see them just like slightly leaning in and they're just elevated, and you can hear like a pin drop, and you can see that they're so engaged by what's going on stage that they are truly transformed. And it's like moments like those that just make me go, I want to do this over and over again every day. I want to continue telling stories that propel and push forward both the aesthetic and in story, and that continue to remind us of our humanity.
My name is Jasmine Chen, and I am a multidisciplinary theater artist. I am inspired by the heroism of everyday life, the constant negotiations that occur between human beings on a emotional, political, and psychological level. I'm inspired by the tension that occurs between opposing desires and the contradictions that lie inside every single person. I want to empower people to discover their own voices and what they want to say, and then give them the platform to be able to do that and to unapologetically be themselves and hopefully encourage more people to do the same.
I'm Jeff Ho. I'm 25, and I'm a playwright and a performer and a composer. I'm inspired by the stories, by histories, and the words that are simmering beneath our surface society, beneath our skins. I'm inspired by theater and its power to coax our deep, hidden impulses of anger, injustice, fury, rage, joy, love, and how we can translate that into gorgeousness in our work. In the future, I will hope that I can give my heart, blood, and soul into making theater a truly inclusive and equitable art form. And I will make sure I do it. I really seek to become a living embodiment of provocation, entertainment, activism on our future stages. And to be really fabulous, fun, and really fierce while doing so.
I'm Jiv Parasram. My age is 28 currently. My craft is general kind of theater artist, multidisciplinary, but focus in direction and dramaturgy. The biggest thing I'm inspired by is the Zapatista movement and the way that they kind of organize and the way that they have continued their movement. A contribution I'd be really proud of, it's to think about agency and to kind of spread this common belief that artists have agency, quite a lot of agency in forming a general ideology. And that there comes a certain responsibility with that in thinking about how we can craft our performances and the different things we do and how we do it too. What dominant aesthetic ideology are we putting forward at the same time?
Joanna Yu, 30, I'm 30, and I am a set and costume designer. My parents inspire me, their choice to immigrate to Canada for better opportunities. My community, the theater community, and how people are so critical and continue to challenge the status quo. And the females in the industry, the trailblazers, the ones who came before me, the ones who were able to really make this path a bit easier for me. I want to be able to also blaze a trail for younger female theater makers, ones who are hoping to make a difference, and especially ones of color who may think it might be harder or may get some challenges from whomever in their life may not make it as ideal for them.
My name is Jeff Young. I'm 30 years old and I'm an actor, and sometimes I consider myself a poet. There's nothing better than working with a good group of artists who are all working towards the same thing, telling the best story that they can, and whether that be a vehicle for change or whether that just be a great story that they want to put out there, I think that inspires me the most, yeah. Well, I hope that I will be able to continue to use theater as a means for change and hopefully just continue to tell great and diverse and inclusive stories that move people in ways that hopefully they can examine their lives and do better, because I think the world could use it.
My name is Kanika Ambrose. I'm 26 and I'm a playwright. Well, I'm inspired first and foremost by my family and then by the brilliant work of other artists, especially in this city. My contribution to the future of theater is to create work that celebrates and honors the people I love and the community I know, bringing their beauty, humor, and humanity to be experienced by the larger community. I want not to express our differences, but our sameness.
My name is Margarita Valderrama. I am 23 years old, and I'm an actor. I'm inspired by my family. There are so many stories of perseverance and tenacity in my family. My parents always searching to give us the best quality of life. My brothers never giving up on what makes them happy. My grandparents always creating a life of joy for themselves and their children. And all the stories of determination and overcoming adversity are very rich in my family, so it raises the bar for me every day. I hope to contribute stories that are accessible, and I like that word because it encompasses a lot. I'm really interested in the relationship between the audience and the production. So how do I tell a story that engages the audience, where it's a full experience of mind, body, heart for both the actors and the audience. How do I create a way in for anyone and everyone in whatever story I'm telling? And I don't know yet, but I hope to pursue that answer in the future.
My name is Michelle Urbano. I'm 31 years old. My craft, I'm a puppeteer, I'm a puppet designer, an actor, a producer, an everything theater person. I'm inspired by the inner conflicts people experience. I'm inspired by the things that make us human, that make us, want to love a certain person and hate another person, the capacity for that duality. I want to bring puppetry to people. I want more people to see it. I think it's a art form that it has no limits and it can explore so many things. And I want to explore those things, and I want to create theater that is unexpected and full of life.
My name is Neha Ross, and I am 30 years old, and I am a stage manager. I would like to belong to an environment that's more open and more supportive and be part of that little backbone. I feel like we belong to a really great community. Theater community is really awesome. We're a little crazy, so there's a lot to learn. I think half the time we don't know what we're doing. It's fun to learn. Life is very interesting, and I'm curious by nature, and so people inspire me.
My name is Nikki Shafiula. I am 29 years old. I'm inspired by art that isn't afraid to engage in conflict. So art that really recognizes that it's a sum of real human relationships, so that isn't afraid to engage in conflict in the creative process, in the content, in the way that it engages with the greater society. That really inspires me. I want to contribute realistic characters and bright colors and giant puppets and spaces for discourse and opportunities that are accessible to lots of different people and entry points for people that don't normally access theater.
I'm Pam Patel. I'm 32 years old. I'm a theater creator and singer. I'm inspired by strength, solidarity, and every time I'm reminded that I'm not alone. I want to see a future where the margins are erased.
My name is Rafael Antonio Renderos, and I am 31 years old, and I am a playwright. What inspires me is big lives, people who have these intense roller coaster kind of lives. I just love that kind of thing. I really hope to contribute complicated and multi-dimensional characters for people of color who are queer, so we can tell our own stories.
My name is Rong Fu, I'm 25, and I'm an actor and writer. The absurdity of life, things that make me ask why or what if. Things are weird. Let's ask about it. Well, I hope to contribute more stories that are not explicitly about race, because I feel that there's still an onus placed on writers of color to tell stories about cultural identity or immigrant experiences, and I think we have so much more to offer than that. I think the stories that we invent and imagine are just as personal and important and interesting.
Serena Farmer, actor, playwright. I am inspired by, I think, just everyday human beings. And they have everyone has such a rich inner life, I think, that they're not able to express. And so if I'm able to express my inner life, that's maybe a secret on stage, it'll remind them of their own bravery or courage that they forgot they had. And to be able to share that in a communal space, I think, can be very therapeutic. I mean, I think the only thing I can hope to contribute is that my presence is going to mean something. So by carving a space for myself in institutions where maybe people like me have not been represented or underrepresented in the past, people coming after me, women coming after me, girls coming after me will feel like they have a place in those institutions.
My name is Shaisa Latif. I'm 29 years old, and I'm a theater maker and facilitator. What I'm really inspired by is respect
a commitment to equity and equality, and it drives a lot of the work that I do and the relationships that I foster. This company has really represented that on every single level. And it's a place where I can come to and I can actually speak about my craft and speak about what interests me without feeling like I have to over-explain or have to take back what I've said. And it's an environment that really fosters sharing. What I really, really love to do is to have an opportunity to give back in the ways that the company has also given back to me.
My name is Signe Lynch. I am 23 years old, and my craft is I am a scholar. I am a graduate student in theater and performance studies. I'm inspired by a lot of things. I'm inspired by outside-the-box thinkers, by interdisciplinary thinkers, by my mentors at York, and by many, many wonderful and talented theater makers. I think I'd like to make a theater scholarship more accessible, both to artists and also to the public. I'd like to build more bridges between the artistic and the scholarly community, because I think that when we collaborate, we can do such great things together.
I am 36 years old and I'm an actor. I'm inspired by art, textures and colors. I'm inspired by music that moves me, language and stories. I'm inspired by my parents. I'm inspired by performers who show us like the deepest truths that they have. I'm inspired by kind of the underdogs who rise above. Their resilience is incredible. I think my contribution to the theater community is to support diversity on stage. I think growing up as a Trinidadian Canadian, I rarely saw other people like me, so it was hard to identify or see myself in them. I would just love to be an example or a mentor to younger actors who might be inspired by seeing me.
My name is Tijiki Morris, and I am a theater artist and creator. I'm inspired by open-hearted people who are willing to be wrong and stand out in spaces where they aren't seen, by polycultural experiences and the mystery, landscape, sounds, color, and vibrancy. I hope to contribute experiences and explorations that allow people to look at how we relate to each other, both in community and with outsiders and strangers, and how we relate to the land, coupled with a dedication to exploring the craft and visual aesthetic and expanding what theater means and who is able to access it.
My name is Virgilia Griffith. I'm an actor and I'm 27 years old. What inspires me is creativity across the board, visual art, music, poetry, theater. But the most is when I see a performer show their heart, the love of it, and that the fearlessness and the boldness and unapologetic, expressing their art and knowing that there's a statement, whether it's a commentary on what's happening today in our society, that there's like a political part to it. My first mentor was Paula Wing when I was a teenager, and I want to be able to do that for others as well, and to express and help them get to their utmost potential, other younger artists of color as well, and to know that they can do it. And I'm still working through my career and my craft. They can do it as well.